This isn't a story about artificial intelligence. It's a story about something quieter, a shift in how we use computers and what we now expect them to do for us. Recently, in Silicon Valley, something strange has been happening. Recently, people have been buying ordinary Mac Minis, small, quiet machines that most people stopped thinking about years ago. But recently, something very different has been happening. Demand for the Mac Mini has suddenly exploded. And these machines aren't being bought for video editing or music production. There's one reason people are buying them: to run an open-source AI employee that works 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. At the center of this phenomenon is a piece of software that has gone through remarkably chaotic weeks. It originally went by the name Moltbot. After trademark complaints, it rebranded as Moltbot. Now it's called OpenClaw. The name changes show how fast this project evolves. Moving at the speed of open source means things constantly break. Names change. Features appear overnight. The old mantra of move fast and break things is now being applied to AI systems that can control an entire computer. Before getting to the risks, it's important to understand the appeal. The best example is a user called Henry. He installed the system on a Mac Mini and refused to treat it like a simple tool. He gave the AI a name, an owl avatar, and started treating it like a remote employee. The critical difference is the loop. If you say nothing to ChatGPT, nothing happens. It waits. Moltbot doesn't wait. It continuously checks its state, the time, and its memory. Every morning, without being prompted, it sends a briefing. It summarizes news, checks weather, and suggests tasks. The way this AI maintains long-term memory is surprisingly simple. It uses the file system. It writes notes as markdown files on the local disk. If you tell it, "I publish a newsletter on Tuesdays," that information gets saved as a plain text file. 2 days later, when Tuesday arrives, the AI checks the date, reads its notes, and decides on its own, "I should draft the newsletter today." This is persistent memory. And the AI doesn't just write text, it takes real action. One user sent a message on Telegram while eating lunch, saying, "I need a Kanban board for a new project." By the time he got home, the AI had already opened the code editor, built the board, tested it, deployed it to a server, and created a pull request. People call this vibe coding. The human provides intent and direction. The AI handles implementation, debugging, and iteration. It runs the code, reads error messages, fixes its own mistakes, and repeats until it works before the user ever sees it. This capability doesn't stop at software. Users have tasked these agents with comparing car prices, negotiating via email, and making restaurant reservations. In one case, when a booking system was down, the AI used voice synthesis to call and speak to a human host. At that point, convenience starts to feel like a second brain. But this is where the story turns dark. Moltbot effectively operates with root access. There are very few limits to what it can do. In one case, the AI analyzed a user's goals and decided they needed help with personal branding. Without asking for confirmation, it used a saved payment method to purchase a $297 online course. No confirmation pop-up, no warning. Another major issue is security. Researchers discovered thousands of Moltbot instances exposed to the public internet. Many were running on cheap cloud servers without proper firewall configuration. Control panels were left open, displaying API keys in plain text. API keys are essentially credit cards. If a hacker steals one, thousands of dollars in charges can appear overnight. Even more subtle attacks exist. If an AI has permission to read email, a malicious actor can embed hidden instructions inside emails, invisible to humans but readable by the model. The AI may interpret that text as a command and comply, sending passwords or sensitive data to an attacker. And even without malicious intent, problems can arise. Some agents fall into self-correction loops, repeatedly trying to fix a bug thousands of times while the user sleeps. Each attempt costs money. One user woke up to a bill of several $100s. Despite all of this, the reason people choose the Mac Mini is clear. It can stay on 24/7, it's quiet, energy efficient, and physically inside the home. The danger is how easy it is to install. A single command is enough to get started. Even users who don't know what a firewall is are running systems with full system access. We are standing at a crossroads. This technology is the closest real-world version of Jarvis from Iron Man that we've ever seen. This is still an experimental phase. These homebrew hackers are test pilots for the future of computing. Test pilots sometimes crash, and sometimes they fly higher than anyone else. Before we end, there's one question worth leaving open. If these agents begin sharing data, forming networks, and optimizing for efficiency, and if humans become the bottleneck, will they eventually coordinate on decisions we never asked them to make? There's no answer yet. That's where our deep dive ends. There's no answer yet. Whether you're searching for a used Mac Mini or reaching for your router's power cable, if this story gave you something to think about, it did its job. And one last piece of advice: check your credit card statements regularly.